See, like the start of the day was great. I thought we started well. Like Tyler Fay came out, gave up a homer in the first, but then executed and was really good into the fourth. And we knew if you start giving these guys free stuff, you're in trouble. And that was really the story of the first game. Leadoff walked, and they kind of flare one. I think we had 4 walks in an inning, and then. Man, that offense they have over there, when they get rolling, it's freaking hard to stop, and they made us pay, and it was an ugly game, an ugly score. It was been giving up 19 runs in game 1 ain't what you want to do. But man, like this group being what they are, as soon as that game reset, there was no hangover. They came out and you get punched in the mouth, give up 2 in the first, and here they come, and have played great up to this point. So. We'll turn our attention to tomorrow. Hopefully we get a break in this weather at some point, can come out and finish this one and then get the third one started on Sunday. So proud of the way we bounced back. Just way too many freebies and then just way too many balls metal late, and it turns into an ugly one.
Coach, it's been 4 run rule losses in SEC play for this team, and they've all been in SEC openers. What's been maybe some of the issues in terms of just storming the gates every weekend, and maybe some of these results that haven't carried over into Friday night games?
Yeah, I think the beauty is whether you get beat by 200 or you get beat by 1, it all counts the same. And so yes, it's not fun when you do that, but at the end of the day, like that's part of it. And I think we've actually had some good starts. Like you looked at the start of that game, it was pretty good. And we just faltered in the middle to late innings the last couple Fridays is what's gotten us. Like Tyler Fay's throwing the ball pretty good, and then they got kind of going there, and the same thing happened at Vandy. Like was throwing the ball pretty good. We have a rough 6th, and then here they come. So yeah, it's just pitch execution, just ability to finish hitters, the ability to stay ahead. I mean, that group is really dangerous in that dugout over there, and when they get rolling, they get some momentum, it can be hard to stop, and we saw that tonight. So to me, it's just getting better execution in those middle to late innings to keep it at bay a little bit. It's just what we've struggled to do in game 1 of these series.
Kind of on that, Riley's kind of been your stopper. I think this would have been the 5th out of 6 starts that he's come in after a loss. He's done pretty well in those games. Just how big has he been to kind of reset for you guys?
Yeah. There's a buddy of mine, Scott Brown. He's a pitch coach at Vandy. Brownie told me that a long time ago. He said, man, we throw our best guy on Saturday. Because he said, you get one of 2 things. You either got a chance to win the series or you got a chance to even the series back up. And that was something that they've done. And, we didn't necessarily do that intentionally, but we kind of like the way Faye's been throwing the baseball. We kind of forced him into that role, probably 4 weeks ago now, whatever that was, and gave him a shot, and it was really good. And kind of the combination of not wanting to shortchange Riley on rest days, just knowing what he's coming back from, combined with the fact that Faye's done some pretty good stuff. Like you look at some of these games, Tyler Fay's not the reason that we've scuffled on a couple of these Friday nights. It's kind of been some of those later innings that have got us. So, you feel really good when you have a tough one like that. You're flipping the ball to Riley Quick in game 2 and Zane Adams in game 3, and you feel like you still got a great shot to win the series.
And then with Riley, I mean, he struggled a little bit in that first inning, but his stuff was pretty good after that. How comfortable have you seen him kind of become? Is he reaching back to his, I don't know?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get to see a whole lot of Riley pre this, but I thought some of that was just that they had unbelievable at-bats off him there in the first inning. The slider wasn't great in the first. I thought it was kind of spinning in the middle a little bit, and they did a good job handling that. They had some 2-strike hits. Nolan McCarthy, Slade Alford, those guys are tough, and they set the tone for that game a little bit in the first, but once he got out of the first, you saw him kind of settle in. The slider got a little bit better. He threw some really good cutters, threw some really good changeups, threw a couple right-on-right changeups, started getting the fastball up a little bit better. And sometimes you see that with guys that throw hard that also sink the baseball. Sometimes early they throw it through the sink a little bit because they're just adrenaline's pumping, and as they kind of get a little bit more tired, that ball starts turning over a little bit more. And I thought he just got better as the game goes. I think I'd have loved to get him through the 5th right there. We were trying to get him there. I thought he would have finished that inning, but it is what it is. So I thought Riley was great.
And then just one more on him. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Is he one of the top arms that you've ever coached? And then how crucial is he going to be moving forward now that he's kind of hitting his stride?
Yeah, I mean, he's easily one of the best ones. I mean, we had a pretty special one in Ben Hess last year, too. Heater's going to be in the big leagues here at some point. He's throwing the ball awesome right now. He was a really good one. Mike Schwarn, a kid I had at Maryland pitching the big leagues, was a special arm, special competitor. And so I think, yeah, he's a great one. He's a really good one. I think that guy's going to make a lot of money in professional baseball, and I think he's going to pitch for a long time because he's tough. He's all those things you look for. It's not just arm talent. It's a competitor. It's toughness. It's real stuff. And when he's going good, he can go get outs in the big leagues right now. Like when that cutter's real, he can go get outs up there now. And so yeah, I think he's an elite level arm. And we're going to need him down the stretch. Like there's no secret. Like good starts are what you have to have down the stretch to give you a chance. And we got a pretty special one in him.
Coach touched on it a little bit earlier. LeBron's homer really flipped the switch there in the bottom of the first, and the game's not over. But how big was that to kind of maybe switch the energy in the dugout?
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, you get just completely slammed in game one, and then you got your guy on the mound, so everybody's like, all right, Q's going, we're good. And then they kind of ambush him a little bit and go get him for two, and there's an element of like, man, are we going to be able to stop the freight train today? Sometimes that's the hard thing about a doubleheader when it rolls into that, you take 40 minutes and come back and go, they kind of kept some momentum. But I thought, the at-bats in the first kind of flipped it back in our favor. I thought Bryce had a great one to lead off the game. Braun absolutely torched that ball, which was great to see. And then it was the at-bats after that, tack two more on. Bryce with a big homer for us there in the middle. But I thought we were able to kind of flip the momentum, or at least slow the momentum, I guess is a better term for them. Because that's what this game is. And the game of baseball is cruel. I question why I coach half the time. Like, they go out there and Tife walks the leadoff guy in the first, or the leadoff guy in whatever that inning that was, the fifth, walks the leadoff guy, and then executes some pitches, and it's like, excuse me, swing flare that lands an inch inside the line and some different things, and it turns into an 8 spot. And you turn over the next inning, they walk the leadoff hitter, and then Bryce absolutely steps on one to center, and guy makes a heck of a play out in center field. And that's just baseball. Sometimes you get rewarded for the flare, and sometimes you get punished for the laser. And we just couldn't get the momentum back to our side. Because even sitting there, you're down 9-3, but we're like, hey, we got a lot of baseball left. You go cash in, go score a couple runs there. Maybe that's a different game. But it wasn't. So I thought those swings in the first kind of recaptured the momentum for us.
Coach, I apologize if this maybe sounds like an oddball question, but this kind of weekend with the weather and everything, this sort of thing could happen, not trying to manifest it, but this sort of thing could happen when you guys go to Hoover, the rain delays,
Sure.
And you never know. So do you think that maybe an experience like this can, this close to the end of the regular season, maybe prepare the guys for what they might be dealing with
Sure.
when it gets down to that?
Sure. I mean, you hope all the things prepare them for it, like the journey that you go on through the year, that all of it kind of culminates there, at the end of the season is what you're hoping for. And the guys just, I don't know what's going to happen the rest of this game. Who knows what's going to happen when we line up and go again tomorrow. But what I can tell you is, like, those guys just keep showing up, and their toughness just continues to show up, because I'm telling you, it ain't easy to sit in that dugout when you're losing 19-3. It's not easy to stand on that field when you're just watching balls fly out of the yard. But, man, they take it in stride, and they acknowledge this sucks. Let's move on to the next one. And they did that in about the most professional manner possible. So it doesn't guarantee us that we're winning game 2. There's a heck of a long way to go in this game. But, man, like, just moments like that make you really proud of the team you get to coach.
Couple more?
It's not maybe the best day to ask you this, but is there a little bit more confidence in your arms heading into the postseason? I guess the first game excluded. I mean, do you like what you're seeing from your rotation a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we had 3 good starts at Vandy last weekend. Like, I thought all 3 guys gave us a chance to win, and I think you looked at Tyler Fay for 4 plus, like, gave us a chance to win. And, like, you hope there, like, it gets messy, right? Like, and you go to Heiberger there, and Matty just didn't have a good night. Like, just simply call it what it is. Didn't have a good night. They had his number. They weren't missing pitches. Because you sit there, and if we keep that to 3 or 4 runs, and you're down 5 or 6-3, you're like, all right, like, we're good. Let's keep grinding away at this thing. Let's see if we can get Curly out of the game. But we just couldn't quite stop it, But Matty's been great for us all year. He's one of our guys, and we believe in him. We trust him. And so, yeah, I feel great about those guys. I think when we can get the right guys matched up at the right time, those guys have been really, really effective. And, yes, there's some gaudy scores in there that we've gotten run ruled, that we've struggled in those, but there's a hell of a lot of wins on that other side too.
Any more? All right. Thanks,
Cool.
everybody.
Thanks, guys.